So, good afternoon. Um, Today I will be asking you a few questions about your organization and the functions of what you folks do. If
Mhm.
you would like to, would you please introduce yourself to the class?
Okay. Um, Hi, my name is Anthony, or you can call me Keola Birano. I'm a Native Hawaiian Retention and Transfer Specialist at Kipuka, the Native Hawaiian Student Center at UH Hilo. So pretty much what I do is I'm a transfer advisor for students who are coming from the community college, specifically Hawaii CC. And my focus is with the Native Hawaiian population. And so my goals are to help the transition from the community college to the university setting.
Perfect. Okay. So you went over some of the basis of the organization and what you do. Is there a specific mission that you folks have of your organization?
Well, I guess I don't know if I call it mission, but just our belief is that all students are, as Carl Rogers, um, whose belief is that everybody has the potential to grow, to become better, and that all is needed is a good setting, a setting where it's built on compassion, um, communication, built on honesty, like all those things, empathy, all those things help in creating an environment where a student can become the best they can be. So that's part of our mission or vision is that if you do those things, if you create an environment um, that allows the student to be open and honest and to feel comfortable and safe where our program is located, that will help them achieve their full potential both academically and personally. And so yeah.
Perfect. Okay, next question. The people that you folks serve or the students that you serve, um, how are they identified or how do you reach out to them? Or is there a specific type of student that you folks go after or
Yeah.
want to help more?
Yeah, so because of our grant funding is focuses us on supporting Native Hawaiian students, specifically from Hawaii Community College. And so the way I find my students is usually through the UH Hilo database. So if a student decides to apply for UH Hilo, I'll get a list of names of all the students who've applied from Hawaii CC, and then I can sort through them to make sure I just focus on those who have reported being Native Hawaiian. And if they're Native Hawaiian, then from there I'll take their emails, phone numbers, and then email them first, and just let them know who I am, let them know what my program does, and then from there, if they don't respond, I'll usually give them a call and just see if they got my email and if they'd be um, interested in joining our program. And yeah, so that's kind of how we recruit our students or outreach.
Perfect. Another question. What is the source of your funding and your resources?
So again, our source of our funding is the Title III grant. So it comes from the feds, the federal government. So we're usually given, someone usually writes up a grant proposal which says we're gonna do, if we do these things that we believe um, more Native Hawaiian students will transfer, more Native Hawaiians will graduate from college if we implement these little steps, which is hiring a couple advisors, doing outreach, doing summer bridge, and so by if we do those things, then we keep getting funding for the whole 5 years. But after 5 years, then the university has to either institutionalize it, which means makes it permanent, and the funding will then come from more the state,
Mm-hmm.
or it dissolves and goes away.
Oh, wow.
So after 5 years.
Okay. Okay, next question. What is your media strategy? And with the media, how do you use that to recruit and develop resources?
Our media strategy is usually we have a Facebook page. I do a lot of emails, so I email out to students. Um, we make flyers. The main thing that we've done to help recruit is going to classrooms, classroom visits, and then we usually share our Facebook page. We share my email, and so that if students need access to me, they can email me, anytime, and I try to get back to them in a reasonable amount of time. And so that's how we kind of use it. We could always do more. I've always wanted to do more like short videos in regards to transferring, or even how to be a successful student type videos,
Hmm.
just to help get ourselves more out there. And so those are just some of the one of the things I would like to do, but I haven't had the chance to do.
And a question I wanted to ask that I hadn't written down earlier. Are there any resources linked for you folks within the Hawaii Community College and the UH pages? Are students able to find you on those type of websites um, without having to have priorly known about
Mm.
you folks?
The Hawaii CC side, Hawaii Community College side, no, it would be hard to find us. We're and even on the UH Hilo side, we're more if you know Kipuka,
Mm-hmm.
because Kipuka has its own website,
Uh-huh.
and I'm under Kipuka. So
Okay.
if you knew that I was under Kipuka, then you probably could find me through that. So it's
Okay.
not easily accessible through just searching for me on the UH Hilo website or the YCC website.
Okay.
And part of that too is because they wanted to keep it because there's only the funding is specific to Native Hawaiian students from YCC. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to be too broad about the recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you put it on the UH website, then
People could come
all
in on
types,
their
yeah,
own, yeah,
right,
instead of you actually targeting specific
right.
people
And
like
we
you
wouldn't
folks are
say no
doing.
to them, but it would just be an additional load of
Mm-hmm.
students that we weren't the money wasn't set aside for
For
those
them.
students, right? It's for a specific group.
That, that makes perfect sense. Okay, and one more question I wanted to ask you. What is your long-term goals in accordance with the organization, or personal goals as well, if you'd like to expand on that?
In regards to the organization, the long term goal has always been to try to do a good enough job, or at least to show the university that there is a need, so that they make my position at least institutionalized. So there's always an advisor specific for transfer students. Because
Mm-hmm.
right now we don't really have any. There are advisors who can advise transfer students, but they're mostly focused on the incoming freshmen, and you have those who are just focused on their major, right? You have faculty
Mm-hmm.
advisors, but there's no advisors specific for transfer students other than me. And
Oh,
so the hope is that after the grant is over, that hopefully they'll make a position specific just for transfer students.
and at that point, where they, if they did um, make that position permanent, do you think you folks would do more um, advertising
Right.
or media
Yep.
within this, you know,
Right.
because it wouldn't be federally based
Right.
anymore,
It would be
funded?
more broad. It wouldn't just be
Nice.
Hawaiian students. It would probably be all students, and from not only Hawaii CC but all the community colleges, system colleges.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a lot more broad.
Nice. Well, thank you very much. You've answered more than all the questions that I wanted to. I'd like to thank you and say hello to Professor Marlow, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem.